When the creative well runs dry, sometimes the best thing you can do is leave your familiar world behind and step into a story that isn't yours. For me, that story led to Scotland, a world that feels like it was made for book lovers, for writers, and for dreamers. Creativity isn't just about output, it's about input. It's about what we feel, what we see, what we hear, and what we touch. Travel opens new doors in your mind that you didn't even know were locked, especially when you wander through a place steeped in stories. There's something about Scotland that just feels timeless. The misty mountains, the crumbling castles, rain-slicked streets. It feels like you could stumble right into folktale at any moment. It's a place where even the stones seem to hum with the memories of stories. Writers like Sir Walter Scott or Robert Louis Stevenson or even J.K. Rowling found inspiration here, and you can feel why. As W.B. Yeats, one of my favorite poets, said, "The world is full of magic things, patiently waiting for our senses to grow sharper." Now, there are quite a few places that as a book lover and as a writer, I consider absolute musts for any visitor going to Edinburgh, at least. These include the Writers' Museum. If you're a writer or a book lover, you just have to visit the Writers' Museum. It's tucked down a tiny alley and it's dedicated to the lives of 3 Scottish literary giants. It's small, it's a little creaky, and it's absolutely perfect. Next are a few of my favorite bookstores in Edinburgh. Imagine towering walls of secondhand books and dim golden light and that wonderful old book smell. That's Armchair Books. It felt like the kind of shop you might stumble into in a fantasy novel and never want to leave. But if you want something a little fresher and more modern, you should head out to Portobello Bookshop. It's airy, it's welcoming, and it's got beautifully curated shelves. Plus, Portobello Beach is right there, the perfect place to journal after finding your next favorite read. And as if that wasn't enough, it's V. Schwab's local bookstore, and they stock several signed editions on their shelves, just waiting for you to pick them up. I admit, I did bring home 3. Last but never least is Topping & Company. Stepping into Topping & Co. felt like stepping into a sanctuary for readers. The first time I visited one of their bookstores was in Bath. It was a stunning place full of endless rooms to explore. In Edinburgh, you're greeted by wooden ladders and cozy nooks and handwritten staff recommendations and just endless rows of books. It's a dream. They even offer free tea or coffee while you browse, which makes it the perfect place to stop for a slow, cozy afternoon. As far as tips for writers and book lovers go, I have a few for when you're traveling. The first would be to always carry a small notebook and a pen with you wherever you go, so that you can jot down some scenes or some phrases and things that make an impression. This is the one I had. It's small, it fits in pretty much everything, and the pen is refillable, which always helps. You don't have to write a masterpiece. You don't have to focus on creating something amazing while traveling. Just think of it as a place where you're collecting little memories. My second tip, as far as Scotland is concerned, in quite a few countries actually, is to dress in layers and to wear waterproof shoes. You don't want to be cold while out exploring. You want to be able to take your time, and soggy socks in a bookstore or cafe are just not fun for anybody. The third is to download an audiobook before you go. We listened to the Anthology of Scottish Folk Tales, which is narrated by Mary Morrison, while we were driving through the Highlands. And it just made the landscape come to life. It felt like the mountains were the characters from the tales. My fourth tip is to leave time for wandering. Some of the best experiences happen when you're not rushing from site to site. You'll wander down side streets and narrow alleys, especially in Edinburgh, where all the cobbled streets lead to something beautiful. And you'll find little tucked away gems and cafes that would make your trip so much more special. Driving through the Highlands was like driving through a living painting. Towering mountains and silver rivers, tiny villages that felt paused in time. It was all just beautiful. It reminded me that creativity isn't about pushing harder. It's sometimes just about getting a little quieter. While standing on the banks of Loch Ness or in the mists in Glencoe, I could almost hear the stories buried in the land. So Scotland reminded me that creativity doesn't always roar. Sometimes it whispers, and sometimes to hear it, you have to walk somewhere new. In the wise words of J.R.R. Tolkien, not all those who wander are lost. So tell me, where would you want to wander to next to refill your creative well? Let me know in the comments. Let's inspire each other. And if you actually stuck around this far, why don't you drop a little earth emoji in the comments so I know who you are? Yeah, let's keep exploring. Oh, and if you want more creative inspiration or ideas on how you can refill your creative well and reignite your spark, I'll have a link video somewhere here. I've been pointing at it, just completely forgot. In the wise words of J.R.R. Tolkien, I can't even say his name today, let me drink some water. The mic isn't working. You can come in here if you're gonna be quiet. Come on, Bubba. Kai, what are you doing there?